Now it's time for you to add the functionality to save entities to your app. Let's see how you can achieve that. Okay, so here I'm looking at the Save Profile method in the Conference API class. If you recall, we already have the code to create a new profile. We just call new on the profile and pass in the arguments that we need. Creating a new profile entity is as simple as calling new on the profile class. If we weren't using Objectify, the code would be more complicated. You already have the code to create a new profile object, but you don't need to make any changes now that the profile has been identified as an entity. However, creating an entity doesn't automatically save it in the data store. You have to explicitly save it if you want it saved. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add the code to save the profile entity in the data store. You're going to be writing this code yourself in your own app in just a minute. Now I'll run the app again on localhost and go to the APIs Explorer. So here I am in the APIs Explorer, and I'm going to go into the Save Profile method again and execute it. I have lemon cake as my display name, set my t-shirt size to M and execute it. Oops, forgot to authorize. Let's try that again. First I'll authorize. Authorize. Now I can execute the function again. I don't need to enter the values, just press execute, and there it goes. Just creating my profile. And you see here the request, set the display name to lemon cake, t-shirt size to medium, to M. The response returned a profile with these fields. So the response shows that the profile was created, but this time hopefully it was more than created, it was actually saved in the data store. And we can use the Datastore admin to check that. So now I'm going to go to the admin console on localhost. To get to the admin console, you go to the port where your app is running, which is, for me, that's localhost :8080, and then it's /AH/admin. And this takes us to the Datastore viewer. The Datastore admin for localhost opens. You can see here that it doesn't know what my app ID is. It says your app ID, and that's okay because localhost doesn't care what the app ID is. Of course, when I actually want to deploy to AppSpot, I will need to provide a real app ID. The admin console opens by default showing the Datastore viewer. But if you're somewhere else and you want to get back to the Datastore viewer, or for some reason it doesn't open there by default, you just click this Datastore viewer, and there you are in the Datastore viewer. This entity kind menu shows the different kinds of entities that are stored in your data store. Right now, the only one we've got is profile. You can click List Entities to see all the entities of that kind that have already been saved. There'll probably be only one entity now, which is the profile that we just saved. So the data store viewer shows you the entities and it shows you the properties. We've got display name, main email, t-shirt size. Okay, so that was just a quick review of how to save the entity in the data store and how to go to the admin console on localhost to look at your entities. You're going to be doing that now.